Ladies and gentlemen, WWE and celebrities have coexisted with one another since the dawn of WrestleMania. Now, not all celebrity crossovers into the world of the WWE are created equal. Some are awful, terrible, and you want to pretend like they never even happened. Meanwhile, others are so good that they actually give us damn near match of the year contenders. So in today's video, we're going to be tier ranking every single celebrity that has had a match in the WWE. We're going to base it on how good their matches were, how good their character work, and promos were as well, so the typical stuff. And we're gonna tier rank them from Hall of Fame all the way down to trash. As always, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, ring the bell for notifications. If you're a wrestling fan, I am incredibly confident that you are gonna fall in love with this YouTube channel because we always upload daily wrestling content. Seriously, I'm going into the third year of doing daily videos. It's kind of insane. All right, that's enough. Let's jump into it. All right, so here are the different tiers that we're gonna be using. At the very top, we have the Hall of Fame category. This is, of course, reserved for the best of the best crossovers from mainstream to WWE. And then we work our way down to the great category, good, meh, and then at the very bottom, we have the trash category, the worst of the worst, the ones that we regret even ever having to lay our eyes on that have crossed over to WWE. Now, of course, we have the traditional celebrities here, but I would be remiss if we didn't at the very least talk about the big three, those who are very famous, but are also very famous professional wrestlers. That, of course, being John Cena, Batista, and The Rock. And I don't really have to say too much about them. Obviously, they go into the Hall of Fame category, both literally and figuratively. All three of these guys at some point or another will be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. And of course, they are reaching fames way higher than they ever would have in the WWE right now in Hollywood. So they're not just great in terms of their WWE stuff, but they're also great in terms of their mainstream media appearances on TV, movie, etc. So all three of these guys are going to go into the Hall of Fame category. I probably didn't even need to include them in this video, but I knew that somebody would have been like, actually, isn't John Cena, The Rock, and Batista technically celebrities? So here you go, okay? I've included them in the video. They belong in the Hall of Fame category. You know what? Part of me wanted to include Logan Paul in this big three, but I do have a hard time saying that Logan Paul is a celebrity wrestler when at this point he really is a full-time wrestler. But if I did include John Cena, The Rock, and Batista, then I really should be including Logan Paul as well. Logan Paul has knocked it out of the park in just about every single imaginable, quantifiable category with his run in the WWE. The man debuted at WrestleMania, and every time he has a match, it's often considered the best match of that night. And if it's not considered the best match of the night, at the very least, usually Logan Paul does something within that match to make it incredibly memorable. He's already had matches and feuds against some of the most iconic and legendary WWE superstars available right now. The likes of John Cena, Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns have all feuded with Logan Paul. And like I said, like Logan Paul is a bout machine. He is almost entirely guaranteed to deliver an excellent match whenever he is on the card. Now, that doesn't change the fact that a lot of people still do not like Logan Paul. There's still a huge contingency of people that it doesn't matter how good Logan Paul is on the microphone in his matches, feuds, whatever it might be. There's nothing that he can do to change their mind. But those are people that just simply don't like Logan Paul. But to say that Logan Paul isn't amazing at this and wasn't a complete success when he crossed over from social media to wrestling is just a lie. And you can go ahead and call me the Logan Paul glazer, whatever it might be. I just think I'm just telling the truth. I'm sorry. Even if you don't like Logan Paul, I think I'm telling the truth here. He also belongs in the Hall of Fame when it comes to celebrity crossovers. No ifs, ands, or buts. Let's talk about Snoop Dogg for a second. Now, in terms of his match, he really hasn't had one unless you, of course, count his impromptu match at WrestleMania 39. Because at WrestleMania 39, he was just meant to be the host of WrestleMania. But some of you might remember that there was an impromptu match made between The Miz and Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon came out, the big pop, that was great, here comes the money, and then in like the first 2 seconds of the match, he like tears his quad spot, like right off the bone. And Snoop Dogg, being the MC of all MCs, recognizing that we've got a weird, bad moment on our hands right now, this dude stepped in, took Shane McMahon's spot completely without being told to, just as a move of improv, and had a quick, super like impromptu 30-second match with The Miz where he put a people's elbow in there. Was it a great match? Obviously not, because it wasn't scheduled to even be a match, but you have to give props to Snoop Dogg for his ability to call a play on the fly, to recognize that a piece of entertainment that thousands and millions of people have purchased was in jeopardy, and he stepped in to, for better or for worse, deliver entertainment to you and to me. And I have to give Snoop Dogg props for that particular moment. I'll put him into the good category because he saved that moment. He genuinely saved that moment. So shout out to Snoop Dogg. He goes into the good bit. Next up, we have Travis Scott. Look, I know he didn't have a match, but Travis Scott is like the bar, right? As to like where you don't want to be. Somebody that was going to have matches in WWE, but ultimately bailed on everything and collapsed all of the biggest storylines going on in WWE in 2025 with the stuff going on with The Rock, Cody Rhodes, and John Cena's heel turn. Even though he hasn't even had a match, so he technically shouldn't even this video because he wasn't a celebrity wrestler, I'm still going to put him into the trash category because I am still mad at Travis Scott. I still have nightmares of Fiend, and he will forever be in the trash category as far as I'm concerned. I'm willing to have my mind change if Travis Scott does decide to return to WWE, if they're able to fix the bridges, mend the fences, hug and kiss and make up. Maybe he'll end up having a great jelly roll run like we had in 2025. WrestleMania 42 tickets are officially on sale, and I'm sure that you've already heard that the ticket prices are rather steep. And I do plan on going to both nights of the show. However, I intend to make sure that I get the best possible prices. And I'll be doing that thanks to today's video sponsor, SeatGeek. With over 28 million downloads, SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app, and for very good reason. There are more than 70,000 events already listed on SeatGeek, including concerts, sporting events, festivals, and of course, wrestling shows. And with SeatGeek, you can be certain that you're going to be getting the absolute best price for whatever seat that you want at whatever show you plan to attend. All WWE premium shows, as well as Raw and SmackDown tickets, are all available on SeatGeek too. So make sure that you stop by there first before you buy your tickets to ensure that you get the best possible price. SeatGeek will actually show you if you're getting a good deal or not on whatever ticket it is that you're browsing. You're gonna want to look for the green dots because green means good, red means a bad deal. Plus, tickets are backed by their buyer guarantee as well. And of course, you know that I came through for you guys because you can use code SANTI10 for 10% off your next set of tickets over at SeatGeek. That's 10% off any tickets with promo code SANTI10. So make sure that you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so that you can use it later. Thank you again to SeatGeek for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get you back to the wrestling conversations that you came for. Speaking of which, let's do Jelly Roll. Jelly Roll has now been in the WWE ecosystem for a while now. I actually saw him perform live at SummerSlam in 2024, and he had what was shockingly a great run here in 2025, feuding with the likes of Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre, teaming up with Randy Orton, in which culminated in a SummerSlam match. Not only that, but he also had that physical moment at Saturday night's main event, which was the setup to the SummerSlam match. And look, I have to be completely honest, when it came to Jelly Roll, I was very critical, and I to this day still stand by the critiques that I had. I was never trying to be outwardly rude, but I was questioning the decision to use so many main event assets for one celebrity appearance in Jelly Roll, right? They used McIntyre, Randy Orton, Logan Paul. Those are all guys that individually could have had their own separate matches that would have been main event caliber worthy. But then to use them, all three of them for one celebrity match, it certainly raised some eyebrows, and I was critical of it. Now, he won me over. By the end of the storyline at SummerSlam, with his performance in the ring, with his psychology, the in-ring psychology psychology, his facial expressions, his body expressions, demonstrating that he really is just a dude living his dream, willing to go above and beyond to make sure that he doesn't leave his homie Randy Orton alone in the ring. I believed him. He was a believable person in that moment. He was believable in the world of the unbelievable, which in itself is a really rare thing. His promos were fantastic. That was what really blew me away and started winning me over on, and I jumped on the Jelly Roll bandwagon. And now that the dust has settled, I'll be the first one to tell you, if Jelly Roll decides to return to the WWE, I'm gonna pop, and I will be the first advocate to get people behind and jumping on the Jelly Roll train, because he was wonderful. He really was. In his one appearance, I'm putting Jelly Roll in Hall of Fame. I'm still waiting for him to do a shooting star press, but until then, he's still Hall of Fame as far as I'm concerned. Moving on, do you guys remember Akebono? You might not, because this is a WrestleMania that, holy smokes, is like 2 decades ago at this point. Big Show versus Akebono. I don't know what to tell you, man. It was a sumo wrestling match at WrestleMania. He was a well-known sumo wrestler. The storyline and the match at WrestleMania is really bad, and not something that I would recommend that you go back and watch. But I guess it was a big deal. It wasn't to me. I didn't care. I'm not really somebody that follows sumo on a regular basis, but I also don't listen to country music on a regular basis, and I was still able to be entertained by Jelly Roll. So Akebono had the opportunity to entertain me, and I wasn't particularly moved by him. So trash. Next up, let's talk about one Rob Gronkowski. Also, like, technically didn't have a match, but did. Let's not forget he was a 24/7 champion. But I think the Rob Gronkowski situation is really fascinating, because Rob Gronkowski signed with WWE, if you remember. He signed with WWE, was going to become a WWE superstar, but then Tom Brady decided to come back to the NFL, go play for the Bucks, convince Rob Gronkowski to also come out of retirement to also play for the Bucks. So we didn't really get the Rob Gronkowski run that we were expecting. But what we did get of Rob Gronkowski was entertaining. I liked his like party boy frat gimmick that he had going on. He was entertaining as the WrestleMania host. He had that moment in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal as well, taking out Jinder Mahal. Sure, I guess I'll go into the meh category. I'll always wonder what could have been with Rob Gronkowski. Next up, let's talk about Mayweather. So the Mayweather situation is fascinating because he was so unlikable, because it's Mayweather, that he was the heel in a position where he was meant to be the babyface, right? The celebrities are always the good guys. The celebrities are there to bring in the different viewers. They're there to look good at the end of the day, and the wrestler's job is to make sure that that celebrity looks good. And like I said, 100% of the time, they're the good guys in this situation. And Mayweather in storyline was the good guy, but because it's Mayweather, everybody hated him, and he played the role of a douchebag incredibly well, whether it was on purpose or not on purpose. But what ended up surprising everybody was how entertaining the match against the Big Show ended up being. It really was a treat to watch. This is one of the matches that I consistently tell people in terms of main media crossovers to go watch, because it's weirdly entertaining and good. And seeing the size difference between the Big Show and Mayweather being kind of like leveled out due to the fight experience of Mayweather is a lot of fun as well. I'm actually going to put Mayweather into the great category. Next up, let's talk about Lawrence Taylor. If you didn't know, Lawrence Taylor, LT, not technically actually, did main event a WrestleMania. So I mean, for that reason, you should probably consider him pretty high. I don't, because the match is really not very good. I've recently gone back and watched every single WrestleMania main event, and the LT match is not the most inspiring of matches. Like, I look at, for example, the likes of Jelly Roll and Logan Paul and Mayweather that are on the list so far, and all of them have had better performances in ring, if you ask me. But still pretty cool to see him in a WrestleMania main event. I think it's pretty telling of the times of WWE that LT was main eventing WrestleMania. I'll go man. All right, now let's talk about Stephen Amell, the Green Arrow, who feuded with one of the biggest faces in WWE today, one of the biggest names in all of professional wrestling today, Cody Rhodes. Of course, feuded with him before Cody Rhodes was as big as he ultimately became, when he was Stardust, actually. And he shocked me, man. Like, in terms of his in-ring, like, Stephen Amell's got it. Like, 100% Stephen Amell is like a genuinely like decent decent professional wrestler. I think he could have been an actual like full-time professional wrestler if he decided to do that. The only thing that kind of underwhelmed me from Stephen Amell's side was more so like storytelling. But the in-ring, I thought that Stephen Amell absolutely had it down. I'll go into the great category. Next up, let's look at one of my favorite celebrity crossovers, Johnny Knoxville from Jackass, who had this wonderful, fantastic program with Sami Zayn. He and Sami reminded the world that wrestling can be stupid, that wrestling can be silly, that wrestling can be fun, and it doesn't always have to take itself so seriously. The WrestleMania 38 match, the Jackass rules match that they had, is one of my favorite matches of all time. I'm not exaggerating. I would probably put it in my top 10 favorite matches of all time. It is so dumb and fun, and I don't think I've ever got busted laughing anywhere near as much at anything else that WWE has ever done than I did at this match, Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. In fact, this match was so successful that I actually credit this match and this program that Sami Zayn had as the reason why they put him with Roman Reigns in the bloodline, and why the whole honorary Uso thing blew up, and why Sami Zayn in the main event scene became a thing, why he ultimately ended up main eventing the next year's WrestleMania. It was all off the back of this wonderful, wonderful program with Johnny Knoxville. Now, I will admit, Sami Zayn, my goodness, carrying this thing. But Johnny Knoxville knew exactly what he needed to do and how to deliver it, and he was there when he needed to be, and he was funny when he needed to be. The whole Jackass crew coming along with Johnny Knoxville for this WrestleMania match was the cherry on top. I will fight until the ends of the earth, man. Johnny Knoxville is an amazing addition to the WWE celebrity wing. Give him in the Hall of Fame. Next up, let's talk about Mr. T. Mr. T, super important in terms of creating that bridge between mainstream and celebrities. Now, if you want to look at like a Mr. T match, none of them are particularly like amazing. I would pick so many other celebrity matches to watch over a Mr. T match, but he helped really put WrestleMania on the map first and foremost, and truly making it this world-renowned event that isn't just about professional wrestling, but it is about the entertainment and its reach as a whole. And Mr. T played a massive role in that. I'll put him into the great category for his contributions and how important he is, albeit his matches aren't particularly fantastic. Let's talk about Butterbean. And this one's a crazy story because Butterbean is like a legit, real ass-kicking boxer. And for some reason, at a WrestleMania of all places, WWE decided to have an actual boxing match between Butterbean and a guy named Bart Gunn that won a tournament called the Brawl for All. And the winner of that got to go on to WrestleMania to face Butterbean in a boxing match. And I want to clarify when I say this, it was a real boxing match. It's not a fake, not gimmick, nothing like that. So you put a non-boxer, he might, go to boxing classes every now and then, maybe he's barred every now and then, against a guy that's a world-class caliber world heavyweight champion. How do you think that went? Exactly. Butterbean murdered this guy in front of everybody and completely killed any notion that Bart Gunn's a real tough guy because he went out there and got his ass knocked out by Butterbean. Butterbean did his job. Butterbean was told, go out there, have a boxing match. He went out there, won in like 5 seconds because he's an actual badass mother effer that could beat the shit out of 99% of humanity. So yeah, he did his job. Good. Maria Menounos, if you don't remember, she actually was in WWE like pretty often. Like she used to do a lot of the backstage correspondence for major PLEs like SummerSlams and WrestleMania, but she actually had a WrestleMania match teaming up with Kelly, if I'm remembering correctly. She was actually okay. Honestly, she's not that bad. Go back and watch a Maria Menounos match and you can hear the crowd go, whoa, okay, all right, Maria, I see you. Nothing that's gonna like blow you away, but it will surprise you more than anything as to what she was capable of doing. I'll put Maria Menounos into the good category. Drew Carey was like technically in a match. He was in the Royal Rumble match for like 2 seconds and instantly just eliminated himself. He didn't really do anything. So yeah, we'll go trash. You guys remember the Jersey Shore? Get crazy, get wild. If you want to do something crazy. Gym tan laundry. Well, there was a time that Jersey Shore was so big that not only did it capture the airwaves and everyone across the United States, but it was also featured heavily at WrestleMania 27. And I'm not saying that Snooki Snooki is the reason why WrestleMania 27 is the worst WrestleMania of all time, but it's certainly one of the reasons as to why WrestleMania 27 is one of the worst WrestleManias of all time. For what she did, I mean, look, what were you expecting, right? If you were expecting anything more than what you got out of Snooki at WrestleMania 27, you should look in the mirror because you have way too high of expectations. Just because I had my correct expectations that it was going to be trash, I'm not going to change it away from trash. Like, it was, but like, I'm just impressed that she went out there and did what she did, but it doesn't change the fact that it wasn't very good. Shaquille O'Neal was in WWE for a brief moment. He was in AEW too, actually, like working Cody Rhodes, going through tables and stuff, but this is WWE only. We didn't actually see him a heck of a whole lot in WWE. There were always these rumors of a WrestleMania match between Shaquille O'Neal and The Big Show that never really materialized. We did have Shaquille O'Neal technically in a WWE match in an Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal match where him and The Big Show eliminated each other. Honestly, I think this was a missed opportunity. I think they could have done so much more with Shaquille O'Neal had they actually been able to pen something down. Like, Shaquille is such a great personality. I think he would have been picture perfect for the WWE. So I'll go ahead and throw him into the meh category. Maybe soon we'll have Tyrese Halliburton on here. Who knows? Next up, we had to talk about the man, the myth, the legend, Bad Bunny. Chambea. Hala, cabrón. Look, I speak Spanish, but like Puerto Rican Spanish is really difficult to understand sometimes. I know that my Spanish speakers that are watching this video know exactly what I'm talking about. I like Bad Bunny music, but I can't understand what he's saying like 3/4 of the time. Anyways, Bad Bunny is the one that set the bar, right? He is the one that set the bar for Logan Paul. He set the bar for Jelly Roll. He set the bar for Johnny Knoxville. Any celebrity that came after Bad Bunny, the expectations are through the roof. Because of Bad Bunny, we stopped thinking of celebrities as they're just here for a quick cash grab, and we started thinking of them as performers that we are expecting and demanding entertainment for, which should have been how we treated celebrities that were crossing over into the WWE. Always. We should have always treated them that way. But because Bad Bunny went out there and put on a hell of a performance, he demonstrated to the world that he trained, that he cared, that he understood the nuances of having a good wrestling match and telling a good story. All of a sudden, that's the new expectation. We expected that out of Jelly Roll. We expected that out of Johnny Knoxville. And the bar is high now. You can't just come in for a quick paycheck in the WWE and us just be okay with it. And it all started because of Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny was the revolution of celebrities crossing over into the WWE. He is Hall of Fame, but I'm going to make an effort to make sure that you understand that he is the Hall of Fame of Hall of Fame. He's at the very, very top of this. Let's not forget an amazing debut at WrestleMania in that tag match with Damian Priest. Had a great program and storyline in the lead up to it as well. And of course, we can't forget one of the best matches of the year. Not just like, oh, what a great spectacle, what a great crowd. No. Bad Bunny and Damian Priest, Backlash 2023 in Puerto Rico is one of the best matches of 2023. And it almost won my match of the year that year. It won a lot of people's matches of the year that year. And that's a celebrity that was able to do that. All right. So like put some goddamn respect on Bad Bunny, Hall of Fame of Hall of Fame. And last but not least, Pat McAfee. Of course, Pat McAfee obviously like by default goes into the Hall of Fame. A lot of people only know, of course, his main roster stuff, but this dude went out there and had a hell of a feud with Undisputed Era and Adam Cole in the NXT days when he was first kind of starting to get his feet wet as a commentator. But then he would go on to have WrestleMania matches, feud with Baron Corbin. He just had a pretty weirdly solid match with Gunther as well. Like Pat McAfee is somebody that, similar to Bad Bunny, you can tell he cares. He wants to make sure that once the dust settles from his match, that you have something positive to say about it. He cares about your entertainment, and that is very apparent from beginning to end. He goes into the Hall of Fame. Now, if you remove, The Rock, John Cena, and Batista, like those obvious ones, because right now it looks like Hall of Fame is pretty crowded. I would say, like, when I think of like the best, pure celebrity involvement, it is Bad Bunny, it is Logan Paul, Jelly Roll, Johnny Knoxville, and Pat McAfee. But yeah, that's it. You guys let me know what you think of this list. What do you think I got wrong? Goodbye. Take care. Get out of here.